Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today we'll cover the MLK Junior Way Safety Improvement Project that recently finished in South Seattle, where we went from this to this. That's right, repurposing a car travel lane for bike lanes, improving safety for everyone, as well as a lot of other improvements in this corridor. So let's get right into it. Today I'm here in South Seattle at the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Way and Rainier Avenue. And this is going to be a really cool project that we're showing off today, as the safety improvement project in this area is officially announced done. So this is going to be a few blocks where basically we're going to see protected bike lanes, bike signals, the whole works. So there's a lot going on, so why not let's just get on our bike and just get on our way. So we're starting here at Rainier and MLK, and this was definitely the biggest intersection that was worked on, with a ton of changes, with much more improved curbs and curb bulbs, shortening the crossings, and some new signaling to stop right turns onto Rainier from MLK, and what I'm writing on right here, which is this new bike lane that will lead you into the Mount Baker light rail station a lot easier. So definitely overall this is already a really nice start, as there's a lot more visibility and clear crossings for people in this intersection. So now we're going to use this new bike signal to head eastbound, so that we can use the bike box to head in the northbound direction of MLK. So yeah, all throughout, a lot of these new intersection features new signals and just a much safer pattern for bikes and vehicles. So in this example, we already see here, the bike box places me in front of the right turn only traffic, and this is possible because they removed one of the car travel lanes heading in this direction. And off we go, as for the next mile and a half, we will get these new bike lanes. They will feature from these sort of flex posts all the way to concrete barriers, depending where you're at. So starting off, first impressions for me was definitely just how wide the space was. I mean, this was taken from a travel lane, so naturally there was going to be a lot of room, but yeah, this is nice. Definitely almost 3 bikes widths of space as you can go here, and there also is the equivalent sort of protected bike lane on the other side. So really this is a completely different story from when I cycled here not even a year ago. And featured here, similar to a lot of other King County intersections, is a brief leading light for the pedestrian and bike signal. That was maybe just a couple seconds, but really I'll take anything, as the more visibility you have to drivers being out there on the road, the better. And now we get to the really fun part, the new concrete barriers here. The concrete that Seattle has really been laying over just all over the city, and is a big part of the next transportation levy that is up for ballot in November. And yeah, this is an interesting design, as it features both a bike track and a pedestrian track. There I was sort of testing here how bumpy the middle is, and it is raised a little bit, just like some of the crosswalks that we have. The paint sort of goes a little bit above, and yeah, I mean, this is quite sufficient, and really what we should have throughout the whole city for a real safe experience. And it's worth mentioning that every single one of these intersections went through a good deal of improvement, as this one, as you can tell, had just repaired sidewalks, new curb ramp, and sort of the works. For this next block, they didn't just repurpose one car lane, but they actually repurposed 2 of them. So this is what it looked like before, and now there is protected bike lanes on both sides. I really think that this is a awesome improvement, and in an area that it so desperately needs it, as MLK has always had a reputation of speeding traffic and so forth. So all the traffic calming that this will introduce is really a big plus as well. I think there's areas around the city and in the county considering projects like these of whether they can or should repurpose travel lane. I think this hopefully will point as a very shining example of a place where it works. So since I've been filming in this corridor for the past half hour or so, going back and forth, I didn't really notice cars really getting backed up. It's about 5:30 or so it should be peak traffic time. So really, I think a lot of times we overestimate what's needed in order to keep cars moving along. But what I did notice was definitely a lot more bikes in the area going up and down. And then I did want to call out sort of the changes in the bike lanes as you go along, especially near these bus stops. You'll notice it going to these buffered bike lanes with flex posts, and I think a lot of the times why they choose this is dependent on space and other things with the constraints around. So that's my main hypothesis, but maybe SDOT will come back and update some of these to concrete or parking stops in the future. And if you're enjoying this project and this video so far, don't forget to roll that like button and subscribe. My main goal is just to get more people cycling here in the Puget Sound, and I think covering bike infrastructure projects like these is a top way to do that. It's the top concern I think most cyclists have is just getting to where they want to go safely. But anyway, continuing on with this tour, you'll see all those different buses going back and forth. I think a interesting thing to call out is on the other side before we hit Massachusetts Street in the southbound direction is this new bus island. So this raised curb with everything, which is a nice addition, along with the removal of the parking spaces here on the east side of the road to have this configuration. So there definitely was a lot of what I would say sort of custom work for each particular intersection and corridor, because they weren't all the same. This intersection in particular had a lot of new changes with no turn on red signs and new signaling to help with pedestrians and bikes. And as we get closer to the I-90 trail now, we notice this other nice bus curb ramp thing. And I mean, this whole thing, I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself a lot, but definitely the key pieces really is the repurposing of the travel lanes, the new sort of protection that is placed with the concrete barriers, and a lot of the new intersection improvements with the signals to prevent collisions and conflict with cars. So these buffered bike lanes continue on towards one more block near towards Judkins Street, where they come to an end, and then you are on sort of the normal painted bike lanes type of situation. But this is where I'm going to end the video today as we end up on the beautiful I-90 trail. Let me know what you think of those changes. I think it's very encouraging what the Seattle SDOT is doing. Hope to see a lot more of it, especially here in South Seattle. There are some other projects that are happening right now, such as 15th Avenue and so on and so forth. But look forward to it, and I'll see you all in the next one.